This is a demo video for Leonardo. Leonardo, this is your new Oggdo killer staff, Jaro Tapal or Kestis lightsaber from the video game Fallen Order. This is an absolute beautiful staff and beautiful two sabers. The way it turned out, I have done weathering on the hilts, as you can see, and it's installed with Goth3D master chassis on both sides. We'll take that out and see in a few minutes. You see you have the window option. You see your crystal pulsing in there. Single button configuration with stock V3 Neopixels on each side. So you turn on, this is your blue, and one click on and hold down for off is the single button configuration. I will include an instruction manual for the single button operation for the Proffi. Because there's quite a few things to get used to. If you're used to the 2-button configuration, hold down for 1 second to move to your next font. That's your cyan. Of course, these are the Kyberphonic fonts which you requested. It's the Survivor bundle, so it gives you all the colors and sounds from the game, including music tracks behind it. So I'll double click the single button for music. It's going to play music from the game behind every font. You also have included here are your Proffi factory fonts included. So I will let you get to all that yourself. But you do have all your colors, and I've also put some different effects on the crystals here and there. Like your indigo crystal, for example, has a kind of a flash. If we go up to magenta, it pulses from magenta to blue. Orange is back to a kind of a flicker. So, you know, just some different styles. There's also a couple of the different styles on the blades that I gave you. I'll pop in the blades later in the video to show you. A couple of the blades have a kind of an audio flicker, and a couple of them are just straight blades. And then the Proffi factory fonts, of course, come with the with some different kind of funky blades like rainbow style and strobe style and all that kind of stuff. So for now, let's show you how to set this up into staff configuration, how to change it from staff to single sabers, because that can be a bit tricky. And there's a few things you need to know. So to just take this apart, we're just going to twist it out like so, and this just slides off. So the function here with these is this threads into this thread. So they thread in together, and that's what's happening underneath here. You're just not going to see it happen. But that's just the premise of how the staff is holding together, because this just slides on and off. So you want to screw them in together, and now I can feel it screwing in together. And they won't always line up. So to get them to line up, the trick is to loosen. Let me just show you first. I'll take this apart and show you first. Is to loosen this part here, because this is your actual loosen. This is where your chassis reveal comes out. But we'll get to that in a second. First, I'm just going to show you how to line up, you know, your switches. You want them lined up. You don't want a staff that's like off center like this. So start screwing in first and see how far off you are. This time we're actually not bad, so we're pretty well lined up there. But if you're not, just loosen back a bit and then loosen this and tighten around and tighten this back up, and kind of keep playing around with it a bit, and just bit by bit you'll get there. You can loosen this one, loosen both if you need to, but you'll get there in the end. So that is your staff configuration. Of course, a little bit of weathering on this too. I just put some kind of brown rust on this, same as the Pommels have a little bit of brown rust. I think they're nicely kind of weathered and beaten up already, but I just added a little bit of rust, and of course the wires and some extra browning here on the for the broken Pommel effect. So it's going to come with 2 of these. You only need 1 for staff configuration. That's the secret to having your staff configuration, because they screw out. But if you want to go back to single saber, you're going to have to screw this one back in. Don't over tighten it, because they can be pretty difficult to get out. I have put a little bit of oil on them just to kind of keep them lubricated, but I would suggest oiling these yourself every now and then, because if these tighten in too much, they can be very tricky to get out. And the same goes for everything on this saber. Same goes for these threads and the threads in here. So there's also threads in here that thread on to this. It's the same principle as the staff. We have threads down in here. So let's just put this on and show you. Tighten everything up first. Always make sure this is tight. And then, see the way it goes on just enough, it just stops right there. You're going to want to twist. Hold here, hold the whole thing and hold this and just twist the last bit of the way and you'll see how it tightens up. Because it's the same thing, it's threading on to these little guys here. This thread is threading inside here to the pommel area. So also in these pommels we have an extra LED to give you shine through out the back here, so it looks like your broken staff like in the game. So let's just fully assemble this one. So on with this little thread, not too tight. On with the pommel, gently twist on, and you see now our light on the end is activating because we are touching, the contacts are touching. So let's do that again with this one. Drop in, let it drop all the way down. Make sure it's all the way in. It is. And we click on until we have that little gap and then twist the rest of the way and do not over tighten again. Once you see your light coming on, that should be tight enough. So there are your two Kestis sabers. I think it's officially a Kestis saber now that it's broken. We're no longer Jaro Tapal. So two absolutely beautiful sabers here, man. I'd love to keep them for myself, for my own collection. So let's dive in to the master chassis and show you how to disassemble that. So to take off your pommel, grip it here and hold both parts. Hold this as well, because right now you only want your pommel to come off. You don't want this to turn. You only want this to turn. So when it turns just enough, it should just slide off. And we'll set that to one side. And now you are left with the bones of your saber. So you twist this off. And you can take it off or you don't have to, you can leave it on, but for now we're just going to take it off because these master chassis can be a little bit tight inside here, just the way they're configured. So carefully pull it out. See the way it comes out of the saber with this. There is your master chassis reveal. And so now to take this off, give it a little twist even, because they can be, pretty tight, as I was saying. It slides on pretty nicely to a certain point, but you need to give it a little bit of a twist. Just don't yank it out of there, is all I'm saying. Just give it a nice twist to keep it nice. So this is your master chassis. So I'm just going to turn it off for now, just to show you. I'm going to get some light on here. So these master chassis by Goth3D are absolutely beautiful. You have your metal part here held on with magnets, so it just clips right on and off with a magnet, and then it won't come off unless you give it a good tug off. Of course, good access to your Proffieboard and SD card if you need. And this is your kill switch.
I'm Kestis.
Turns on to your blue Kestis font. The kill switch can also be accessed without taking off this gold cover. You can see in there, you just got to get your finger in.
I'm Kestis.
And it works. I have put a nice battery decal on for you here. Just to, keep the look in universe. So to take out the battery, I just use the end of a tweezers just to pull it out. take this end out first and then slide out. There's your battery with a beautiful decal from Skywampa. So this is a Arabash for a diatium power cell, like in the Star Wars universe. That's what powers the lightsabers. So in here again, you see your Proffieboard, the back of your Proffieboard. Everything is nice and neatly in there. The speaker is behind these covers. You can see it if you just look down in here. That's where your speaker is. Your wires run up these two little channels, so they're nicely hidden. You can't see any wires coming through the crystal chamber. I had to wire the crystal chamber and the blade in series because there was not enough space to get all the wires down here. So I barely had enough space to run one 22 gauge and a couple of 32s and one 22 gauge and a couple of 32s down here for the switches, for the switch and the negative and the data, and then my positive and negative. So they're wired in series, but I do have it done as a sub blade. So as a sub blade, you're still going to get your nice crystal effects and everything. So it's basically the same as if it's wired separately, because it's in sub blade configuration. So you get all your effects. So for this battery, this decal is really nice. But one thing I need to show you is when you're inserting the battery, always insert it with this label pointing upwards, because if you don't, there's a chance it will get peeled off just by the corners of this and by this wire on the back of the soundboard here. And then of course this is your negative and this is your positive. Positive always to the back, always. So just be very careful, please. Always do your positive. You do not want to insert this the wrong way around. It can possibly cause damage. So just remember that this spring, it makes sense. This spring should always be to the flat section, because if you put the flat section in here, it wouldn't really touch much. So flat section in, the line of the sticker pointing up, click it in, and then you can spin it like this to get the Arabash right in, or you can always leave it like this, whichever you prefer. Also, I would advise spinning it with the direction of the sticker, if you know what I mean. So if you spin it this way, you're going to peel off that sticker. Spin it the other way, and it's going to keep the sticker on. So it's just a little something I added was the stickers, because I think it gives a nice look to it, but you're going to have to be careful with them. They're not really designed for much heavy wear and tear. So like I said, just to show you one more time, always insert the battery with the sticker seam pointing upwards, and then when you're twisting it, always twist it so that the sticker will not get peeled off. There you go. Okay. Both chassis, of course, are identical. Let's take off this one. Again, a gentle little twist just to pull it out. Like this. It does come out nicely. Then I'll have to switch it on by mistake. Same thing. Batteries the chassis are identical. You've got your nice magnet snap on. You've got your nice magnets here. So these all have little magnets in them. So you'll see them here and here and here and here and here and here. Loads of magnets in this little chassis, because you have the option of your bare crystal reveal, or slap it up and the magnet sticks it up right there. Your caged crystal reveal. Okay, so that brings me on to these little guys here. So I want you to be very careful putting the saber in and out, putting the chassis rather in and out of the saber. Always line up the button with the button. This can only go in one way, and it's the button lines up with the button. And then once it goes in, just give it a nice gentle push. You'll hear that little click. That little gentle click is these little connectors going in here to those 3 connectors here. You can just about barely see them, but they're lined up perfectly to fit. But please do not put this in backwards, because you will crush those little pegs, and it would be a really difficult job to repair that. So switch lines up, nice and gently, never push it in too hard, and then you'll hear your little click just like that where it goes in. Let's try the same in the other one. Line up the button, push in nice and gentle, hear your little click, and you are in. That's your nice shine from your stock Neopixel connector. And that's it for that. You just want to be, very careful taking them in and out. Also, I mean, these chassis and these sabers, they really are such a beautiful design and such nice pieces and everything. I really don't want you dueling with this. No heavy dueling at all, because I mean, look at these chassis. They're not designed for your heavy dueling. Everything is nice and neat in here. I just don't want you bashing them around and knocking anything off too badly. So another thing to note is, you'll figure this out yourself anyway, I think. These covers, they are not reversible. So this will not go on this one, because you see that right there? The polarity of the magnet is reversed right there. So they're only designed to go one way. So if you're ever having trouble with that, if you have them both off and you switch them around and one is not going on properly, just switch them around. It should flick on. Whoops. It should flick on nicely like this. See, it just clicks on. Pretty satisfying when those magnets take hold. They're nice, strong little magnets. Okay, that is it for the chassis. Let me just put them back in just to show you one more time. So chassis lined up, in, nice little click. Then you put on this cover. Remember, both of these on if you wanted in a single saber configuration, one of them off if you wanted in staff configuration. So slide it on again, a little twist if there's a bit of resistance. It's a pretty good fit, but there might be just a little bit of resistance, just a little twist. Then put this on, thread it on nice and gently. Don't ever cross thread anything on this, whatever you do. Then your pommel, make sure your little LED connector is in there. Push it on. You've got this much of a gap, and then hold and twist this. You see it's going to start closing up, and do not over tighten. That is loads tight. And that is one in. I'm going to turn on the second one.
I'm Kestis.
Buttons lined up. Nice click in. This one I'm going to put the whole pommel on as one piece. Screw everything on nicely. We've got our shine through happening. So I'll turn the lights back off to see how nice that is. And that's it. So I'm just going to pause the video and grab the blades and throw the blades into these just to show you. So this is going to come with your two Neopixel 32-inch blades. 2 To insert them, just take your Allen key, which is going to be included. Make sure your little retention screw here is loosened. And take your blade and just pop it in. Make sure it's nice and tight. Push down, keep it pushed down on it while tightening the retention screw. Don't over tighten it, just nicely hand tight. And there's your blade. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video again for a moment and just put this into staff configuration and just put the two blades in to give you a little bit of a demo. And so that is your staff and saber demos, just giving you a quick look at how cool it can look. So a couple of more things I just did want to show you was with the buttons. So I just got one single saber here, just to give you a quick rundown of the buttons. So like I mentioned, one click on and hold down for off. That's pretty straightforward. There is a couple of other little things here. Like I said, I will include an instruction manual, but I'll just give you a quick run here anyway. So to control your volume, hold the button and give it a tap. It's a clash. Now you're in the volume control menu. Okay, so then it's a click, 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 click to go down in volume. You can hear it getting lower, or hold. Actually, excuse me, it's hold to get lower. So you hear it getting lower. Hold for 1 second, hold for 1 second, hold for 1 second. Now it's as low as it'll go. So we want to go up 2 more notches. Let's just, for an example, 1, 2. Now to exit the volume menu, the same thing. Hold the button and clash. And now you can hear your volume is a lot lower. So that's just one thing. Another thing I want to show you is force effects. I'm actually going to turn the volume back up. just to show you the force effects. There are a lot of force effects in here. In each font, I have put a lot of Kestis dialogue along with the force effects. So to do that, the saber needs to be on, and then you need to point upwards and hold the button and twist. So it takes a bit of getting used to, but here we go. So saber on, hold.
Better get ready for a fight.
And give it a twist. Hold and give it a twist. Now that's a force effect, so you hear it's like a force push. So some of them are force effects and some of them are dialogue. So that was another force effect. Let's go to the next font. So indigo, I will hold.
It's an echo in the force from the object.
And you hear,
Jedi have that skill.
there's a lot of dialogue in here. And it's different, that's a force effect again.
Don't you understand? I'm not interested in power.
And each font has about 6 or 8 of those dialogue to discover for you. So that's going to be fun for you to discover all those. So let's try again.
The Empire's muscling in on those Wookiees big time.
So I better get ready for a fight.
Quotes from the game.
The Empire's muscling in on those
And it's
Wookiees
random.
big
It's
time.
at random. So this one is the same one is now coming up. Let's try again. That's a force effect.
Haven't gotten myself killed yet.
So there we go. So they're at random. So that is one thing. The other thing to show you is using a similar effect but pointing the saber downwards while the blade is on. So hold the button and twist. I'm just doing it upside down now, so it's... And you hear a beep like that. Once you hear that beep, now what's going to happen is when you twist the saber, it's going to change the blade color. Sorry, I'm just fixing my camera here. It's going to change the blade color to whatever you want. So you see how I'm twisting? The blade and the crystal are changing. See, it's going from green to blue to yellow to red to pink. And once you reach a color you're happy with, hold down the button to hear the beep. And there you have another color. So once more, saber pointing towards the floor, hold the button, twist. You'll get used to this. It just takes a bit of practice. And now, once you twist, or you can even swing. Swing the, see that you swing and it goes to blue. Swing and it goes to green. Wherever you want to land. There you go. So, with these volume controls and color controls, once you turn the kill switch off and back on again, it's going to reset to what I originally coded it to. So don't worry about messing anything up. You can mess around with the colors all you want, switch off, switch back on, your colors are going to be restored. So there's just a couple of little features. Others then are, blaster effects. Single click, hold and hit gives you a lock-up effect like you saw me doing in the blade demo a few moments ago. And there's also some of those blades have localized lock-up. So you'll see it moving up and down the blade. A lot of things to play around with. And of course, don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any problems with it. But yeah, I think you're really going to enjoy these sabers. They're absolutely beautiful. And they're going to be shipping out to you soon. And may the force be with you.